Hi, I'm Samantha Westcott from Children's Hospital Los Angeles, and I'm going to talk to you for just a couple minutes about budgeting basics. Always keep in mind that the budget is the financial projection of the scope of work. So you have to have some sense of what the scope of work is going to be before you can do a budget. Then you need to go through the list of all of those questions you need to ask a principal investigator when working on a budget or when reviewing a budget. First of all, who? Not just who the personnel is and their effort on the project, but any consultants that might be included on the project as well. And frankly, any subawards. That's when you want to start to have that question. And frankly, if there's going to be any human subjects, that's a really good time to start asking these questions. Then you want to talk about where, which will also include not only your institution, off campus, on campus, what other institutions are going to be used, but also think about travel. What actual travel is going to be used? Not just the cost of a trip that the PI went on last time, but really where is the PI going to go and what is that cost going to entail? And finally, what? What are you going to use? Are you going to use supplies? Of course, you're going to always have materials and supplies. So let's make sure that those costs are really accounted for, what it's going to take to do that. All of those are key. And then how? What kind of equipment are you going to need? If you don't ask all the questions to make sure that that budget really lines up with that scope of work, you're going to have unaccounted for costs. The budget's not going to be fully representative of the scope of work, which can affect peer review. And even if the budget gets accepted and the award comes in, if you haven't accounted for those costs, and those costs are real, how are you going to make up that difference in the end? So it's really important that you go through and make sure that the PI agrees that the budget that gets finalized really is the financial projection of the scope of work. Thank you.